I use graham biscuits, and I've cut them in half. You have these little weenies, miniature weenies, and we're going to kind of stretch it out. And we're just going to roll them up in this biscuit. It's real easy. See, you just roll it up in there. Put them on a cookie sheet. They're great for breakfast. If you want something that is fast, they're great warmed up. You just get them out of a Ziploc bag, warm them up, and out the door you go. See? They're great to take for parties. There's just so many uses for them. I love them any time of the year, Christmas, during the summer. This is another dish where the kids are out of school and they want something for breakfast. Check out my Etsy store for Aunt Sandy's Kitchen merchandise. I've greased the cookie sheet and I've got my oven to 350. We're going to cook them between 12 and 15 minutes. Just keep checking them right there at the end. I just want to ask, what do y'all like to dip yours in? I don't like to dip mine in anything, but I know there's people out there that probably like to dip theirs in ketchup, barbecue sauce, or whatever. So if you would, just put it down in the comments what kind of sauce you like. And we're back, and the pigs in a blankets, it took about 18 minutes. You just have to, because they were bigger and thicker, and so you just have to, play with your oven. Just keep peeping at it to see if they're golden brown. Let's see, we'll get it. See how good they look? They are great for snack, breakfast, lunch, anytime. You can take them to parties as an appetizer. These have been around a long time. I don't know how long, but it's been a while. Kids love them, seem to love them anyway. Make you some and enjoy them. I hope you do make them. So we're going to start. I'm going to do 6 eggs. And so I got 6 eggs. And I got it in water. And you got to make room so the eggs will have enough room to not touch. I got a little bit of salt in there and a little bit of vinegar. Cut it on medium high. And we're going to wait until it boils. And then that's when we're going to start timing it. And the eggs have finished boiling. They've boiled for 10 minutes. And so we've turned the heat off and we're going to put them in the ice bath. I've got the eggs out of the ice bath. They were in there for 10 minutes, and now we're going to peel them. I've peeled my eggs, dried them off. I want to separate the yolks from the shell. They peel real easy. And then you got the yolk. It's perfect. I'm gonna take my fork and smash the yolks. You can put anything in the eggs you want. You can put mayonnaise. I put mayonnaise, a little bit of mustard, salt and pepper, and I sprinkle a little paprika on top of it just to give it some color. And I've got some olives chopped up that I'm going to put in one batch. This is salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic. And if it's still a little dry, then you can always add a little bit more mayonnaise if you have to. You can put this filling in a pastry bag or a Ziploc bag, or you can do it the old-fashioned way and scoop it out with a spoon. Well, here's the deviled eggs, and I hope you try them. They smell delicious. They're not very hard to make, and as you can see, they didn't break, or they didn't stick. The shell didn't, and they come right off. And so, and if you like olives, these will be wonderful. And if you don't, then you can try these. So, as always, God bless, and I hope you try them. I've already washed my strawberries and took the stem off of them, and I've got 1.5 cups of diced strawberries. We'll start with the liquid. This is 1/2 cup of milk with 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. I got 3/4 cup of sugar. I got 1 egg. I've got 1/2 cup of oil. going to mix it. We're going to put the dry ingredients in there. It's 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm going to mix that in there. Make sure it'll rise. I'm going to pour it in there. We'll mix it together. I'm going to mix it until it all comes together. You don't want to stir it too much. I've got my 1.5 cups of strawberries diced. Then I put 2 tablespoons of flour in them and mixed it around. That way the strawberries won't all drop to the bottom. You don't want your fruit sitting on the bottom. I got my oven to 350 and I sprayed my pan 9 by 5. There goes my strawberries. I'm going to fold that in, get it all mixed up. This smells so good. I'm going to put it in our pan. Make sure you got it out, spread out evenly. Got it on 350, and we're going to cook it between 55 and 60 minutes. Depends on how, check it, I would check it at 50 minutes to make sure how done it is. We'll put it in the oven. I've taken my strawberry bread out of the oven. And now I'm fixing to make the glaze. It's 1 cup of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of milk. You might have to use a little more. And 3 tablespoons of strawberries that I diced up and then I mushed. I mushed up with a fork. I'm gonna whisk it until it's all blended and it's at the consistency I want it. You don't want it too thick or too thin. I think I'm going to add a little bit more powdered sugar to it. Probably a teaspoon. Whisk that around. It all depends on how juicy your strawberries are. I think that looks good. We're going to pour it over it.
The topping has set, and this is the finished strawberry bread. I hope you enjoy this recipe. This is really good. Our friends loved it. Be sure to check out my other bread recipes like the banana bread and the pumpkin bread. Leave in the comments what's your favorite bread recipe and which ones should I make next. It's just a few ingredients and it's going to be full of flavor, and I want to show you. I've taken an 8-pound spiraled ham and I've taken it out of its, bag, and I've put it into one of these bacon bags. You can get them at the store. It's Reynolds oven bags. And we're going to use a cup of brown sugar and mustard, and the main event is a Dr. Pepper. Now you can use a Coca-Cola if you wanted to, but I like Dr. Pepper and I like the taste of it, and it gives a rich flavor, and so we're going to try that. The first thing I'm going to do is rub it down with mustard. Now I'm using stone ground Dijon, or you can use French. So let's get at it. I'm doing this for less cleanup. You just squirt it all over the ham. And we're going to rub it. Just rub it all over. Get it good and coated. Now I've washed my hands and everything. This is God's tool He gave you. I'm going to take a cup of brown sugar and sprinkle it all over it. We're going to take I think this is a 20-ounce bottle of Dr. Pepper. And we're going to pour it over the ham. Use about half of it. Then we're going to tie it up, get all the air out of it. Squeeze all the air out of it. Now mine's 8 pounds, so I'm going to cook mine probably for an hour and 45 minutes. It all depends on how big your ham is. I'm going to seal it up. It says to make a few holes to vent the air, the heat. So we're going to make a few holes at the top. Okay. We're going to put this in the oven at 300 for about an hour and a half. And then we're going to bring it out and check it. It's already cooked. You just have to warm it up real good and let that seasoning flavor it. We got the ham out of the oven. It's done. The internal temperature is about 160, and it was in there about an hour and 45 minutes. And doesn't it look good? No mess, because we cooked it in the bag. It's nice and brown. Let's put a little stuff on it. Just pulls right off. Look how tender it is. Let's take a little taste. Rich tasting. That Dr. Pepper really did the trick. Gives it just a sweet taste, but not overpowering. You just throw it in the bag, pour that Dr. Pepper over it and the seasonings, and just stick it in the oven. And when you're trying to fix the other parts of the dinner, this is so easy. So I hope you try it. Down in the comments, let me know your favorite way to cook your ham. Also, in the description, there will be a recipe and a link to my website to download a printable recipe. Last week, I had made a glazed ham, and this is what's left of it. And I'll make some bean soup later on in the week with this. We're gonna take some ham that's left over and make scalloped potatoes with ham. It's real easy to make. It doesn't take long. It'll feed a lot of people. So let's get to cooking. I've got my pan heating up, and I'm gonna put in here about 4 tablespoons of butter. I want to make a sauce for it. First, I want to saute some onions. It takes 1 medium onion, and I've chopped it up. I've cut my oven on to 350. And I've got a 13 by 9 pan, which I've sprayed it with cooking spray. We're going to saute these. I'm going to put just a little bit of salt in them. I've peeled and washed and sliced 3 pounds, about 3 pounds of white potatoes. You can all do it by hand, but I used my mandolin to slice the potatoes. It makes it a lot easier. When your onions get soft, we're going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of flour. Check out my Etsy store for merchandise. I'm going to cook it just a few minutes to get that flour taste out of it. 1/2 cup of chicken broth. You're going to need 3 cups of milk. And let it come up to a boil. I've got my seasonings in this bowl. I got 1 teaspoon of salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. And I'll mix that up when this gets to going. And as this gets to boiling some, it'll start thickening up. I've got 2 cups of diced ham, and it's diced up little bits. And then I got my sliced potatoes. And that's how that mandolin slices them. Just real thin, real easy. You just put your potato in there and slice. We'll let that boil for a few minutes at a slow simmer until it gets thick. I'm going to layer it potatoes, ham, sauce, cheese. And I'm going to do that again. The sauce is done, and so I'm going to start the layering. Smooth it out. If you like this recipe and found this video helpful, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. We got the casserole out. It's done. It's golden brown and it looks delicious. We put it in there for 50 minutes covered. We took off the foil. We stuck it back in there for 30 minutes, cooked it, and then we put the cheese on and let it brown for about 15-20 minutes. And so just keep watching it and check your potatoes through the cooking, because, you know, it all depends on how thick your potatoes are and how fast they're going to get done. So I hope you like this scalloped potato with ham. It looks delicious. It's a great meal, and I hope you try it. And as always, God bless. Check out my Etsy store for merchandise. I've got my crock pot on low, and I've already cooked my elbow macaroni for 4 minutes with salted water, and then I drained it and cooled it off a little bit, and I poured it into my crock pot. And there it is. So now we're going to put 1 can of evaporated milk in the crock pot. In 2 cups, 1.5 to 2 cups of milk, regular milk, a stick of butter cut into cubes, 3 ounces of cream cheese cubed, and then I've got 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and paprika that we're going to sprinkle. I have 1 egg and 1 egg yolk, and I've mixed that together, and we're going to pour that over. And I've got a cup of cheddar cheese that I'm going to sprinkle over it. And there'll be another cup of cheese that I will sprinkle over at the end of the cooking time. I'm going to stir it all together. After it finished cooking for 1.5 hours, I had to cook mine about 30 minutes more. And we put the cup of cheese and we let it cook another 10 minutes, and it's ready. We're going to scoop it up. Don't that look wonderful? Let's see how it tastes. It tastes delicious. Cheesy, creamy. It's quick and easy when you have to feed a big family or a big crowd. And all you have to do is just dump it all in a crock pot and let it cook. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite recipe. Also, in the description, there will be a recipe and a link to my website to download a printable recipe. There is a link in the description to check out my Etsy store for Aunt Sandy's merchandise, as well as any affiliate links that I may have. There's so many varieties of potato salad. You can put just about anything in it, but the majority of it is eggs, potatoes, mayonnaise, and onion, and some kind of dill, either relish, dill pickle, sweet pickles, whatever you want to put in there. But today we're starting with about a cup of mayonnaise. I'm going to do the dressing first. I love potato salads. And about a 1/2 cup of onion, chopped up onion, but we might go back and get some more of that. The mustard gives it that yellow color. I'll put about 2 tablespoons in mine. Put a little salt, about a teaspoon, pepper, a couple of shakes. I like to put a little garlic. Now, potato salad, you know, you just peel your potatoes or you leave them with the skin. You cut them into cubes, wash them, then you put them into cold water. Always put them into cold water because you don't want to start with hot water because they'll be done on the outside but not the inside. And so you let them boil, I guess, for about 10 minutes until they're fork tender. That means you stick a fork in it, and if they're just tender, then they're ready. And then you drain them, put some cold water over them, and then, you know, you do your eggs. You boil your eggs. I boiled about 5, I think. You let them boil, and when they start to boil, you put the lid on them and set them aside. Let them sit for about 5 minutes. Pour all the hot water off and shock them with cold water. You might want to put some ice in there. That way it'll peel better. Okay, we got our Salt, pepper, onion. I'm gonna put some, I like sweet relish in mine, but well, I put both of them in there. I have used pickles where you just chop them up, you know, whatever you got on hand, whatever you like. Some people like to put olives in there. I'm putting a teaspoon, too. That's sweet. Mix that up. Some people put celery for the crunch. And I've saved one egg for the top. We're going to make it pretty. We're going to mix that together. We're going to take our potatoes that are drained, peeled, and cooked. You see that potato? There's no resistance. That's how you know it's tender. Well, looky here. This potato salad looks great. I sliced an egg on top to make it pretty, but you don't have to. And I sprinkled just a little bit of paprika on top. But some people are allergic to that, so if you got people coming and you're not sure, don't put it on there. But this is going to be good, and it's a great summer dish. It goes with everything. So I hope you try the Southern potato salad. I've already I washed my asparagus, and I broke it off because the bottom of it's tough, and it usually breaks off, you know, where it's supposed to be, that little rib thing. I'm fixing to put a little bit of olive oil on it. Coat it. Okay. We're going to put a little pepper on it. Okay. We're going to take 3 asparagus, and we'll take a piece of bacon, I'm through wrapping the asparagus with the bacon, and I've got it all wrapped up. I've got it on a cookie sheet. The oven's at 400, and we're going to bake it for 22 to 28 minutes. I think I'm going to check mine at 25 until it's golden and crispy. So here we go. Don't that look nice, pretty? We've got the beautiful bacon wrapped asparagus out of the oven. It took about 28 minutes to my oven, and don't it look beautiful? Isn't that pretty? It smells delicious. I made a glaze, 2 tablespoons of honey and 1.5 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. I think I said that right. And we're going to drizzle it over the top. I put it in this little squirt thing so you could put it where you wanted it. It's better to put it, I didn't have a rack. I would cook it on a rack next time I do it. So the bacon grease will fall down to the bottom. That's a little tip. I think my family members are going to like this. I've never made asparagus wrapped in bacon. It's always just in the oven, just plain. Down in the comments, tell me if you eat asparagus. Check out my Etsy store for Aunt Sandy's merchandise. Down in the description is the recipe and a link to a printable one. Hey folks, today we'll be making a coconut cake, but I'm using just a white cake mix. Any cake mix will do, but I just add a little bit of different stuff to it. So let's get started. I got my cake mix. If you want a all white cake mix, you'll have to put in 4 egg whites. But since I'm not, I'm just putting in 3, the whole egg. There's 1, 2. I cracked mine separate in case something wrong with the egg. I've had that done. Happened to me. It's 3 eggs. And then I use coconut milk. Instead of, you're supposed to put a cup of water in there, or if you wanted to make it a little bit richer, you can put a cup of milk. But I like that coconut taste, so I put in a cup of coconut milk for my. Now when you get the coconut milk, shake the can and mix it up, because on the bottom is water. So then we're going to put in a 1/2 cup of oil. I use vegetable oil. So 1/2 cup. And then I put in I put in a 1/2 teaspoon of coconut extract. To bring home that coconut taste. But you don't have to. And we're going to mix it up. Let's mix it up, make sure everything's incorporated in there. I've already floured my pans and greased them. Shortening. I preheated my oven to 350. Bake them for 29 minutes, but I'm going to start looking at mine at 25. You don't want it to overcook it because it'll make it dry. So I start looking before. So we're going to put it in our oven. Oh, I've got to always knock the air bubbles out of it. Hey folks, we're fixing to wrap this up. I've made the cake and it's over here cooling. We're fixing to make Marilyn's 5-minute icing. And it's, as long as I can remember, she would make this icing when she made coconut cake. You're going to take 3 egg whites. You're going to strain them. And you can strain it any way you're comfortable with. We're going to put the egg whites in the mixer. We're going to start whipping it. And while we're waiting on that, we're going to take 8 ounces of Karo syrup. We're going to put it in a pan. We're going to add our 2 tablespoons of sugar, a little bit at a time. When this pan starts to boil, I want to time 5 minutes, and I want to constantly stir it. It's boiling now, so it'll be 40. Add the last bit of sugar in there. Okay, my egg whites are kind of stiff. That's the way you want them to, like that. egg whites back on. Okay, we're at 5 minutes. Okay, we're gonna pour it in there. Okay. I don't want that to hit my counter because it's going to be sticky. This is the marshmallow icing. You're going to let it sit just for, I guess, about 5 minutes until it kind of cools off a little bit. And then we can ice our cake. We've made the 5-minute icing and we're fixing to put this cake together. I've already made my cake, put a little dollop on the bottom. To make my cake stick. Yep. And I put down this is messy, I put down a dish towel. So when I start to put on the coconut, it won't go all over my counter. I bought me a bag of coconut. I think it's 14 ounces. Sweetened coconut. Okay. I'm gonna put coconut in the middle. I'll take the other one, flip it over. Gonna bring it down the side. Just try to cover up everything on the side. Don't that look good, that marshmallow icing? Put a little bit more on there. And when you get through this pan, you better put it in some hot water to soak. It's going to be very hard to clean. I think that's about got it. You can clean up at the end your cake plate. Or if you got anybody to lick your spoons. Okay. I'm just gonna do the top. Then we'll take our hand. I'm gonna lightly press it. That's where the messy part comes in. Just with one hand, put the coconut on there. And with the other hand, spin your pedestal. My cake plate has a little rim, so that helps. Need a little bit more of this coconut. As you spin it around, just push. Push the coconut into the ice, and And then get the little spots you've missed. And we can always sweep the floor later if we missed a spot or some of it fell. How's that look? Oop, a little bare spot. Okay. I want to spin it around. Take the excess off a little bit. Trying to clean up a little bit on it. It's a messy cake, but it sure is good. And just pat it so it'll get into that icing all the way around. You can clean up your edge a little bit later with a damp cloth. Okay. My fingers are sticky. Just take your cloth and go around, clean up the edge, make it nice. I think that's it. Then we're going to decorate it. You can put pecans, crushed pecans on the top, or you can do all kind of stuff, but I got these little bird eggs that I'm going to put up here. We'll put some around the edge here. These are milk bowl Whopper robin eggs. Just spin her around. Make it look Eastery, like the Easter bunny's coming. Now I have done those with this cake. This frosting, this cake is Easter bunny. You just have to cut him out in a little rabbit. Okay. So there's our cake. Little decorations. And I hope you enjoy it, and it's going to be good. It's good, moist, and that coconut cream makes it moist. It gives it a more coconut taste. And be sure to shake that can or pour it out, and you'll have to take a whisk and mix it together because it's not it's separated in that can. But it is going to be good, and we're going to cut a slice here a little bit later, and we'll show you a picture. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you. You take 1 stick of butter or margarine. We'll put it in this mixer, and I have a cup of Crisco. This must be an old recipe because I haven't made one with shortening a long time. And we're gonna blend these two together. I've turned my oven on to 350, and the recipe says to use 3 8-inch cake pans, but I'm using 2 9-inch because I didn't have the right cake pans. But that's going to be all right. 2 cups of sugar. Gonna let that blend. 5 egg yolks, and I separated 5 eggs because you're going to be using the whites later on, so keep those whites. These are 5 egg yolks, and you mix them one at a time. And I want to stir it. Okay, and 2 cups of plain flour. And I put 1 teaspoon of baking soda and mixed it. And we're going to alternate it with buttermilk. We're going to mix that. See how fluffy that is? Mix it. We'll put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla and 1 cup of coconut and 1 cup of chopped pecans. We're gonna blend that. And before I whipped up my my 5 egg whites, I just whipped them up until stiff peaks formed. Now we're gonna fold in the egg whites a little at a time. It smells wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna put the rest of the egg whites in there. You just make sure all them egg whites are incorporated into the batter. We're going to put them in 2 9 by 9-inch cake pans. Got too much in that one, so we're going to put probably 2 tablespoons. We're going to cook them for about 30 minutes, maybe a little longer because it's in a 9-inch cake pan. But when they come out, I'll let you know. Got the cakes out of the oven and I've cooled them. Got them on the cooling rack and they look beautiful. And we're fixing to make some cream cheese icing. I've already put 8 ounces of cream cheese softened in the bowl. And I'm going to put a stick of margarine. But you can use margarine or butter. Here's the vanilla. Here's the and it says if the icing is a little stiff, to add a little couple of tablespoons of milk. I'll check that in a minute. Then we're going to add a half a cup of pecans. Mix that. I don't think we're going to need to add any milk. Okay, we're going to get our cake over here and start icing it. Probably have to cut. Spread it out like a good thick in between the cake. Some people don't put the pecans in the icing because they want it smooth, but you can do it either way. Decorate it with pecans outside or put it in the icing like this. You know, whatever floats your boat. I think next time I'll chop up my pecans a little finer. And I think it looks great. It turned out real good. I hope you try this Italian cream cake recipe and that your family will enjoy it as much as mine. And as always, God bless. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite recipe. Also, in the description, there will be a recipe and a link to my website to download a printable recipe. There is a link in the description to check out my Etsy store for Aunt Sandy's merchandise, as well as any affiliate links that I may have. And if you like this recipe and found this video helpful, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you always for watching my videos, and as always, God bless.